go ahead and open up your joint venture partner tracking form. And in this form, we are going to show you how to manage very simply and smoothly all of the partners, because there is a lot of communication that goes on. There is a lot of back and forth, and you want to have one central place where you can find all of the information. It makes your communication so much smoother. And when you run a professional event, people want to be involved again in the future. After our expert summits, we frequently partner with and establish more long-term relationships with those people. So they may come back as a speaker at our live event. They may come back and be a long-term affiliate for us. They may become a client for us. But those relationships, because we're so professional during the process and everything feels so smooth, it helps to further future relationships. So here's how this works. Let's say we have Florence Flo as one of our potential partners. So we're going to put in her email. We're going to put in her phone number. That way it's always on hand and easy to find. Next is her list size. Now in the beginning, before we reach out, we don't know what her list size is. That's something that we learn in the negotiation process. But let's say that in the beginning we look at her Twitter following, see she has 50,000 followers on Twitter. Facebook is 5, LinkedIn is 2, nothing on Instagram. We do not need someone to be a hotshot in all social media platforms in order to partner with them. But we do want them to be a hotshot in one platform, and we do want them to have a presence in at least a couple to show us that they're really playing in social media. Next is when we do reach out to them and have a conversation with them. So we reached out, we invited them to participate. They said, hey, let's get on the phone. We get on the phone. Now we're going to find out their email list size. So let's say she has 10,000 on her email list. The next thing we're going to ask for, which that brings her total reach up to 6,700, or sorry, 67,000. The next thing we're going to ask for is audience engagement. We want somebody who is regularly emailing their list. If we come across someone who does not do email marketing, we do not partner with them. And it doesn't really matter how awesome their social media is. What we found is that the email list builds the registrations. It really does. When someone just plays on Twitter and they just have this huge Twitter following, in the past we have partnered with people like that, and they seriously will generate like 3 registrations. It's ridiculously low. We will get more registrations from a partner with no social media following but an active email list of 2,000 people than we will get from a social media rock star with no email list. So the email list is essential. We have to have that. And we want them engaging frequently with them. So then we're going to ask them their topic. And let's say this person, their topic is health and wellness in the home. That wouldn't be a fit for one of my expert summits, but it might be for yours. So now we're going to keep track of when we are reaching out to them to let them know where they're at. So maybe we send the first reach out email that reminds them, hey, we're getting ready to promote. And then we send the second email saying, here's where your registrations are at. And then we send the third email saying it's time to promote again. So we just simply keep track of those. We write in the date when we get the verbal agreement from them, and then we write in the date when we get the signed agreement from them. We also put in when they send their first email and their second email. Now these are their promotional emails, so they send it. We always ask them to send it out and then send us a copy so we know it's gone out. We keep track of their social media when the first one goes out, the second, and the third. And then we keep track of the total leads that came through all of their promotional efforts. And let's say that the goal was if they got 100 leads, we would send them the list. Then this person did earn the list, and when we send it out, we just write in there, yes, we sent it. And then we also send a thank you after it's all done. So that's how we keep track of it. Now, with one person, you might look at this and go, do I really need all of this? But let's say when you have Florence and you have Gavin gives a lot, and you have Sarah Saucy, and you have Kelly kills it, and you have Mike makes money, and you have all these different people, when you've got 10 to 14 different partners that you're keeping track of, it's a lot. You have a lot of correspondence going back and forth. You have a lot of information in a lot of places, and you need one central location to house it all to make sure everything runs smoothly. I will tell you, my ideal size for an expert summit is actually 10 partners. I love that size. They're small enough that your people, when you have the 30 partners in your expert summit, what happens is your opt-outs start getting higher and higher as it goes on, because their inbox is getting so overcrowded. They can't manage that much content. One a day for 30 days, all they do is get a little bit behind, and then all of a sudden it feels overwhelming. And if they're overwhelmed during the process, then they feel like they can't move forward and make any purchasing decisions until they've consumed all of that free content. So I love 10. It's a great size to give us a good, 2.5 week expert summit, depending on if you use weekends or not. And you can find really committed partners. I would rather have 10 super committed partners than 30 mildly committed partners. We will get more results from that size. So that's my ideal, but that's how we keep track of all of the information, and just a great tool for you. You've got one more tool in your kit, so go ahead and watch that video, and I can introduce you to your last tool. Thanks so much.